Creatures of the night, it's your favorite girl, Tati. Let's talk about Ring of Honor. First things first, I do want to thank anyone who watches my Ring of Honor reviews or live streams. It is not easy for me. It is not easy for me. I do wrestling several times a week. I do reviews and I do live streams all on the same night. And to be honest with you, Ring of Honor, there is so much that can be done and it makes it frustrating to watch. However, I'm consistent and I'm doing this because there are people who look forward to keeping up with Ring of Honor through me, which I do appreciate. And I'm just hoping that the right people watches my reviews and my take on things, because I really do feel like a lot of people care about Ring of Honor and want to see things, bigger and better things for the brand overall. And I do feel like in terms of as a promoter, as a company, whatever it is that you're selling, it could be wrestling, it could be toilet paper, like it could literally be anything. Hearing what your consumers have to say is so important to have a better product. Let's talk about the show. First things first, we started off with trios action. We had Dalton Castle and the Outrunners going against local talent. Sorry, babies, I didn't catch y'all names because it didn't really matter because y'all was in and out real quick. It's interesting to see that they're doing this trios thing with Dalton Castle and Outrunners, where I feel like they are very entertaining. Like, we could be seeing them a hell of a lot more, at least on Collision, doing their little shenanigans or whatnot. And they've only teamed up one other time, but when they speak about them as a group, it's almost as if they've been doing this for a long time. And I'm like, wait, no, y'all only had one match together, so I don't know what that's about. Just a couple of minutes in the ring, end up beating local talent. And honestly, I'm not 100% sold on this group. I like everyone in this group, but I don't know. I know a lot of times people had mentioned in the past that if Dalton Castle wasn't injured, like him with MXM would have just been killer. And honestly, I agree. But I'm interested to see where things go with this group. Trios titles or six-man tag title, honestly, I don't know. I need to see a hell of a lot more to see what the chemistry is looking like with Dalton and the Outrunners. After that, we have the only singles women match in this show. We do get a chance to see a little bit more of the ladies later on. But we have Billie Starkz going against Aaliyah James. Last week, Aaliyah James and Billie Starkz, they teamed up to go against Yuka Sakazaki and our girl, Alex Windsor. And things were not looking good for Aaliyah and Billie. Billie and Aaliyah kept arguing throughout the match. They were not on the same page. And Billie was like, fuck all this, I don't need all this, and end up leaving Aaliyah to get her ass whooped while the opponents end up taking the win. So this time they're having their match one-on-one. I like Aaliyah James. I think she has something that I would actually like to see more often within Ring of Honor. I would not mind seeing more girls. Now, I always say we're full within AEW Ring of Honor, but if I ever had to make room for anybody, ever have to think, all right, we'll let them in, a girl will definitely be it. And I would love to see more of Aaliyah James. Billie Starkz, they said something interesting about her on commentary, that she's only lost 5 matches out of, I think, 42, I want to believe, 41 or 42 matches that she's had within Ring of Honor, which is interesting. Because I never really thought that would be the case. To be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of Billie. She's young, and I've seen some growth, but I'm not necessarily impressed with her in the ring. So for me, I kind of was cheering for Aaliyah a little bit more, but Billie Starkz ended up taking the win via cheating by putting her feet on the rope to get some leverage to hold our girl Aaliyah down. And this is typical to see with a heel. Now, I do want to point out that before the match, they did show about Athena and Mercedes tagging together in the tag tournament, and how Billie Starkz is feeling some type of way about it. And this is interesting because I don't know what to expect with Athena and Mercedes. They're two really powerful women if we're talking about in terms of careers, teaming up as a team. And Billie Starkz looked like she is, doing singles action and probably taking that out on other people. So we'll see where that goes in terms of her character in the future. Now, after this, Lance Archer and Rocky Romero comes out with Don Callis to go against Aaron Solo and QT Marshall, which is so interesting because I know they've been playing the story out where they want QT and the Pizza People to team up and do a match. Now, previously, it was supposed to be at Wrestle Dream. I don't know what happened, and it didn't happen, so they pushed it. And they end up mentioning that, they're going to be teaming up with each other so that they can go have a match at not Forbidden, what's the next pay-per-view again? Ooh, Full Gear, there you go, Full Gear. This is so crazy because QT, Aaron Solo, they've been the heel. QT has always been a heel. And in just minutes, they got them to be baby faces by having Uncle Don come out there and talk shit somewhat about QT and Aaron Solo, but what really sold people to be cheering for QT and Aaron Solo was the fact that, he mentioned that QT and the pizza guy, what's his name? I don't know his name, whatever, the Costco people, that they are supposed to be teaming up with each other. They're supposed to be kind of friends or whatever. And by talking shit about the pizza guy and them kids that they got over there, that made the audience angry. In just seconds, QT and Aaron Solo are baby faces. And I was just like, look at that. Only our Uncle Don could do something like that. This was a really great match. This was really great. I love seeing Aaron Solo in the ring. I don't feel like he get a chance to go out and do his thing as often as he should. But I thought he looked great. Him and QT, they actually make a great team together. You could tell they work well with each other and have that experience with each other. Rocky, Lance Archer, they've done some matches together too. However, I feel like Lance Archer, we've barely been seeing him in the ring. Rocky, he wrestles everywhere, so I see him everywhere he goes. But Lance Archer, he's in the Don Callis family, but sometimes it's easy to forget that he's there. Uncle Don is on commentary, just being egregious the whole time, and I love it. Now, it's interesting because he's doing commentary by himself at the booth, and we have Ian and Caprice, I guess they home or wherever the hell they at, and they're doing commentary, and they're trying to make it seem like they're there. So like halfway through the match, when you realize that they're not there, and then they make it obvious that, hey, we're not here. If you look over here, like, I don't know, they weren't there, obviously, and I guess that was a joke throughout the commentary. This was really great. This was really great. And I do want to say, like, in terms of there being so many members within Don Callis family, that they can be taking some of the ones that I guess aren't as big as like Takeshita or Okada and featuring them a little bit more within Ring of Honor, because these guys need some wins. Now, we do have Lance and Rocky taking the win because our boy Trent Beretta ends up interfering. He has a pink cast on his arm, and he ends up hitting, I believe it was QT, in the face with the cast, and 1, 2, 3, Don Callis family ends up taking the win. Post-match beatdown, and here comes the pizza dad who came out there to save QT, which is very interesting. And they even hugged each other. Like, wrestling, we don't got time for hugging and wrestling. And they made it official that they're going to be teaming up at Full Gear. Now, this is going to be at the pre-show. We don't got time for it on the main card. But it's interesting because I think previously they mentioned that it was going to be Rocky and Trent that's going to be going against QT and the Pizza Dad. But I don't know what's going on with Trent in terms of his injury. So maybe it's going to be another Don Callis family member. Now, after this, we have a Pure Rules Proving Grounds match with our champion, Lee Moriarty, going against Alex Zane. Now, I love Alex Zane. He's such a cutie, so talented. But I was just like, how did he get this match? Now, look, call me old school, but I do feel like whenever somebody's doing like Proving Grounds matches or, opportunities to possibly go for a title, that we should feel like the person earned it. And while I feel like Alex is a great wrestler, he's been losing matches, and it's just like, well, how did we get here? I don't know. This was a really great match. I thought it was cool. Alex was a little bit out of his element here. He used his rope break really quickly, all three quickly. And his style is just really different from Lee Moriarty, who's been a champion for over a year, who's been a technical beast for quite some time. So the experience in that style and within being a pure champion definitely played a huge role here. But Alex was able to hold his own, but not enough to take the win. After the match, though, they did announce that SCP was going to be putting the 6-man tag titles on the line against the Workhorsemen and Beef next week. And I thought that that was kind of strange because, look, I love SCP. We were praying to the old gods in the new that we wanted to see SCP win these titles, and these guys are capable of being at the top of Ring of Honor, if anything. And they have these larger than life personalities. They're great wrestlers, and I feel like we haven't got a chance to see enough of them. And they're going to have that match next week. And honestly, the Workhorsemen, I love the Workhorsemen. Oh my God, yeah, I know I love them. But I feel like, well, we haven't seen enough of them for them to actually be in a match with SCP for the titles already. So something about that where it's just like these past few weeks that we haven't seen any of these people, they could have been building up to something for people to want to look forward to seeing that match. I am not a fan of destroying matches together and not really having much of a backstory. They only had somewhat of a run-in with each other one time, and that's not enough to just already put the titles on the line. Now, after this, I was really surprised that this match came on because I thought that I was hoping that there was going to be saving this for the pay-per-view in December. But Story Denali teaming up with Ariya Daivari and Tony Nese, them abs, Lord have mercy, to go against Isla Dawn and the Grizzled Young Veterans. I thought we was going to wait. I've been wanting to see more Story Denali, and this is the most I've got a chance to see of her in the ring. One thing that took me by surprise is the matches that we've had within AEW when we had the girls and the guys, like with Megan and Willow and them in the ring with the guys and seeing them all getting physical with each other. They seem to not necessarily be doing that on Ring of Honor. Like, they're having these mixed tag matches, but it seems like they're kind of holding back in terms of letting the men and the women wrestle with each other. And I kind of thought that that's where they were going. So they're holding back on it. They might have like a little something, but not like what we've seen previously within AEW the past few weeks. Now, Story Denali is another thing too. I have never seen her up until when we saw her debut, maybe 2 months ago in AEW, and I was just like, whoa, she's beautiful, she's tall, she's a big girl. I want to see what she's capable of doing. I haven't seen anything of her outside of that, and I'm like, I'm just gonna watch her through Ring of Honor and see what she has to offer. They've been building her a little bit more like a powerhouse, like a Jade Cargill, where it's like, all right, you're big, you're tall, you're strong. Do like a choke slam or a power slam or something like that and win. And that's what she's been doing. And we got a chance to see a little bit more of her in this match, but it just wasn't enough for me to still kind of give my opinion in terms of her as a wrestler. We're all familiar with Isla Dawn, especially if we've been watching WWE as well, so you've seen her there. And I just feel like, all right, we know Isla Dawn, but what about Story? And honestly, I don't think I got anything in this match in terms of how can I judge her as a wrestler. I just didn't really see much of her in the ring to give an opinion. So I'm just going to wait to see what more she got to offer and let you guys know how I feel about that. However, main event was, beautiful, beautiful. We had Komander teaming up with Mascara Dorada to go against the Swirl, which is Blake Christian and Lee Johnson. Earlier in the show, Swirl did a promo talking about how, they've been working hard, they've been putting the work in, and Komander, they had a little thing with Komander, especially Lee Johnson, had a couple of matches with Komander when he had the TV title. And then here's Mascara Dorada, who is going to be having a title match with Bandito on Collision. Let me tell y'all something. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to rant. Because first things first, it was Blake who was putting out there, Bandito, I want to, go against your bitch ass and get the title from you. That happened a little while ago. And he hasn't had any interactions with Bandito. Like, no feud, no nothing. It's literally Blake just kind of touting himself to go for the title. And the reason why is because Bandito is not on the show. This is a problem. He is holding the world title and he's not on the show. The last time they showed him was his match with Hechicero in CMLL, and I was just like, all right, well, some of us already seen it because we got those CMLL subscriptions, but they have to be doing a hell of a lot more by having their top guy in Ring of Honor actually on the show. These teams put on a killer match. Komander and Mascara Dorada, they are so similar in the ring, but still kind of different. They complement each other so well, but Swirl has been putting in so much work this past year, and whoever is back there running things should be watching and just be like, these gotta be the guys that we put these tag titles on next. They're doing so well. I thought it was great. So this definitely I recommend to watch, because I thought that everyone did really well here. Unfortunately, Swirl did not win. Komander and Mascara Dorada takes the win here. And the thing is that Mascara Dorada is going to be going against Bandito, not on Ring of Honor for the Ring of Honor World title, but on Collision. Oh my God. Now, why would that be frustrating? Is because he's not on the show. It's a Ring of Honor World title. It should be defended on Ring of Honor. We're paying Ring of Honor subscriptions, and your title matches are not even on the show. And I just feel like it's the wrong way to go. If you want to encourage people to watch Ring of Honor, then that match should be on Ring of Honor. People will purchase their little subscriptions, and y'all need to put better shows for people to be like, you know what, let me pay again next month, because this is actually a really great brand to watch. Now, I do want to say that this match was supposed to be on the Honor Club. They did already put graphics for this match to be on the Honor Club, and then last night on Dynamite they switched it up and they said that it was going to be on Collision. And I was really surprised watching Dynamite last night, hearing that, and I was like, well, why are they switching it? I get it. They love Bandito. Bandito has done so well this year. He has absolutely been impressive this year. However, Ring of Honor is Ring of Honor. Y'all separate them when it's convenient, and then y'all have the champions come on over to AEW when it's convenient. I don't like that flip-floppy shit, and people who's paying for it kind of feel a little, kind of way, because it's like, why should I pay and the champion is not even there? You know what I mean? It's insane. It's insane. But whatever. I heard good things about that match as it was taped last night after Dynamite. So we'll see what ends up happening on Saturday between those two. Overall, I thought the show was pretty decent. The main event was absolutely amazing. So if you didn't see that, go ahead and check it out. Tony Khan, AEW, Ring of Honor, whoever it is back there, we got to do better. We have to do better.